morning, sir.
Right, it's nice to meet you again after lockdown. Right, college is getting reopened. Okay, you remember we have discussed
He doesn't understand this.
few topics in grammar, and we learned some topics in vocabulary also. Right, and today we are going to learn so you know this. What is that?
COVID-19.
Yeah, it's a coronavirus, and the whole world is closed because of that, right? We are not going to discuss that, right? But I'm going to tell you something that is related to COVID-19, right? What happened when the COVID-19 started spreading out? What did the government do? What did they do?
They gave holidays to college.
Okay, they gave holidays, right?
It has lockdown everything.
Yeah, they have locked down.
Lockdown.
Right. So when they're afraid that the cases are increasing and spreading around, right, they imposed lockdown. When they found that there are cases in and around my locality, right, the Vijayawada authorities imposed a complete lockdown, and my neighborhood is completely locked down. Okay, so Vijayawada is locked down. So what did they suggest us? They asked us to do something whenever we come out. What is the minimum thing we have to do when we come out?
Take some precautionary.
Like what are the precautions?
Maintaining the social sanitization.
Okay, social distancing, sanitization of
Hands,
hands, and then you already have that on your faces.
mask, wearing
Wearing
mask.
mask.
Wearing masks, right? So we are supposed to wear masks. Okay? So masks to be worn. In fact, we have to put on masks.
Yes.
Yes, we have to put on masks. You're all now putting on masks on your faces, right? And then when you come back to home, what do you do? Will you still keep the masks on your face?
No.
What do you do then?
Put off.
Put off.
Yeah, we put off the masks. So what do we do when we say we put off the mask?
We take up.
We remove the mask. So we remove the mask, and that is said with
Put off.
put off. When you wear the mask, we say with it
Put on.
put on. Right? And Vijayawada is
Lock it down.
locked down. These are the three words I want to talk about you for a while. These are called phrasal verbs. So phrasal verbs are verbs in a way, but they are combination of a verb and a preposition or an adverb. For example, you see on put on, you can recognize what on is.
Preposition.
Preposition, right? Put is
Verb.
verb. Again, put is verb in put off, and off is
Preposition.
preposition. Okay, so when you combine a preposition with a verb to suggest an action, then that phrase is called phrasal verb. So phrasal verb is a phrase made of a verb with preposition or Rajkumar or
Right, sir.
adverb. Okay,
OFF, you said that OFF is preposition, sir? It's
Yes.
preposition, sir?
it's also preposition. It can be also used as adverb.
OFF is also preposition.
Yes. So Rajkumar, if you see, this is one. Run away.
Run.
Run is
Just simply run.
verb, right? Away is adverb. So run away means escape, going away from one place. If you find somebody coughing, what do you do immediately now?
We run.
We run away, right? So that is how prepositions can be used. So instead of using a complete, big words with other sentences, right? You can simply use phrasal verbs. They are used more, frequently in conversational English, right? So they are very colloquial and they are very informal in their expressions. So we are going to learn some of the phrasal verbs in today's class. Okay, are we ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. So you can see I have given a small description over there. As I already said, You can see that phrasal verb is combination of a verb and preposition or adverb. But you have to remember one important thing is that the verb part in the phrasal verb acts like a regular verb when it comes to tense changing. Okay, so lock down, if you split into it, lock is the verb and down is the preposition. So when you want to use it in past tense, the lock becomes, what is the past tense form of lock?
Locked.
Locked. So it becomes locked down. Okay, you see that the police have locked down the entire area. In fact, I'm using the past participle of it. The past participle form of lock also is locked. So the police have locked down the entire area. And we are talking about masks. If you put on mask, put present tense, with the subject is third person singular, we add yes to it. So he puts on the mask whenever he steps out. Step out is also another phrasal verb. Okay, to go out from a place is called step out. To enter outside is step out. So the subject, because subject is third person singular, right? Both the verbs in simple present tense, we are adding s to it. So the verb in phrasal verb changes according to the tense of the sentence. Okay, so that is the change you need to keep in mind while using phrasal verbs. When we are learning phrasal verb, we learn the base form of the verb in it, like lock down. But when we are using it according to tense, it becomes locks down or locked down. Okay, depending upon the subject and tense. Okay, are we clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Good,
I
good.
have a doubt, sir.
Please.
In a sentence, there is a complete lockdown.
Yeah,
I think it is a noun.
let us see. There is a
Complete lockdown.
complete lockdown. Guys, did you understand his doubt?
No, sir, I didn't understand.
Okay, I will give the clarity. So he is saying that lockdown is a noun, and I am saying lockdown is not just verb, phrasal verb. Right. So what do you say, Jay Prakash? You got the doubt. Can you make any conclusion? Right, I will write the same sentence which I used. Vijayawada is locked down. Guys, can you see the difference? What can you understand from that? Lockdown is phrasal verb, right? Now let us see what is it. Lockdown is noun also. But when you write it noun, it is a single word. But when you are using it as phrasal verb, these two should be split up. And this can be changed into the tense form according to it. So, certain phrasal verbs are actually can be used as also nouns.
So,
Okay.
sir, is there a possibility of all the phrasal verbs becoming nouns?
No madam, only some. Only some phrasal verbs have the possibility of acting as nouns, but their form will be slightly changed like this. And they will be as a single term. Okay? For example, take off. Aeroplane takes off. Take off is jerky. The winds are howling. The take off is jerky. We are using take off as a noun there. Right? So certain phrasal verbs can be used as nouns also. So the points here you should remember is when we are using phrasal verbs, the verb in the phrasal verb should be used according to the tense. Okay? And it is decided by the tense and the subject number. Right? Person and number of the subject. Are we clear? So let us learn a few more phrasal verbs. I'll walk through this. Right. I want two volunteers to read out a small story here. Who will come forward to read out? Yeah, Prakash. Nagarjuna, can you volunteer? Right. One of you is Mark, one of you is Ali. Right. Please read out the dialogue for the class. The remaining students can look at the screen also for the dialogue to follow up. Please read out. Who is taking Mark?
Do we need to come here?
Yeah, you better come down here. Stand facing each other. Right.
Hey Ali, did you check out the mail I sent you? The one about stupid Peter, saying how stupid he is.
What email? I logged on ages ago, but I didn't get an email about stupid Peter.
That's weird. I'm sure. I sent it to you. Hang on a minute while I check. Oh no, I have really messed up. I sent a mail about stupid Peter to stupid Peter.
Don't panic. Maybe he hasn't picked it up yet. You could try to delete it before he sees it.
Right. If you keep him talking, I will go on his computer and get rid of it.
Yeah, let's hold on here. Let's give a break. So, Murali Krishna, did you understand this conversation? What is the conversation about? In summary, in brief, what do you understand? What is happening there? So, Rajkumar,
Sir,
yeah, did you understand the conversation?
no, sir.
Okay. Did you understand anything of it, or didn't you understand anything at all?
A little bit I understood, but
Yeah.
overall I did not get.
Tell me, what did you understand? What is happening?
There is a stupid fellow.
Okay.
And about that his name is Peter.
Okay. What happened to Peter?
Peter, nothing happened, sir, to Peter.
Okay.
Mark and Ali are talking about Peter.
Okay. What are they talking about him? Are they talking about him or something else?
They are talking about the stupid Peter, saying that he is stupid.
Okay.
And some mail also they are talking about some mails, sir. I did not understand.
Okay. Let us take from Francis. Francis,
Yes, sir.
what did you understand?
It's the same thing, sir. Peter, they were talking about Peter.
Okay.
Mark has sent an email to
Good.
Peter,
Good.
but Peter didn't, respond to his mail.
Okay.
He hasn't seen.
How did you know that Mark has sent the mail? Which part of the dialogue do you think?
Maybe he hasn't picked it up yet.
Okay, but Mark has sent, right?
Yes.
How do you know that Mark has sent? Whether it reached Ali is different thing. How do you know that Mark has sent the mail?
During the very beginning sentence,
Yeah.
he said that, did you check out the email? He is
Yeah.
asking Ali.
Okay,
And
good.
the next sentence, the one about stupid Peter saying how stupid he is.
That is about mail,
Yes.
what the mail content is. So you show that checkout means to find out
Yes.
whether the mail is there or not.
Yes.
Vijaya, do you think that is the correct interpretation by Francis?
I didn't understand it much, sir, so
Okay.
I don't think.
The first sentence, check out. Can you read the first sentence and tell me what you understand about? Please sit down, Francis.
Thank you, sir.
I didn't understand the meaning of it, sir. Hey,
Oh.
Ali, did you check out the mail I sent you?
Okay.
I didn't understand anything, sir.
Okay. Do you know about mails, at least emails?
I learned about it very recently about mail.
Okay. Anything about second sentence? Ali's reply?
No, sir.
Anybody understand the second sentence? Ali's reply? I logged on ages ago, but I didn't get an email about stupid Peter.
Logged on means I think it is checking the mails, sir.
It's entering into a system or opening a system or accessing a system or a computer or a phone or your email account. That's what it is. So what is happening here is Mark has written a mail, he has sent it to Ali, but Ali did not receive it because he's saying that I've been logging on it but I didn't get it. But he says that he messed up. Right? That means he spoiled it because he sent the mail to whom did the Mark send the mail to?
Peter.
Peter himself. About Peter, he wrote the mail and he sent the Peter accidentally. That is what he said, messed up. Okay, so he spoiled it. So then what Mark is doing is that he wants to get rid of it. He wants to delete it.
Yes.
By that he can come out of the problem. Okay,
Sir, I have a question, sir.
madam.
You said that a phrasal verb is a combination of verb and a preposition
Yes.
and an adverb, but they
Or an adverb.
Or an adverb.
Yes.
But then in the bold, sir, it is written get rid of. So
Okay.
why do we have three words there, sir? What is get, what is rid, and what is of, sir?
There is a possibility that sometimes two verbs also be there in a phrasal verb. Okay, get is a verb, read is also a verb, off is preposition. Okay,
So you can have two verbs and one preposition.
one preposition, but it must have a verb.
It's also a phrasal verb then.
It must have a verb and it must have a preposition or an adverb. That is the condition. Okay, let us see what happens in the next part of the story.
He is logged on opposite of checkout because we check out room.
Logged on is not opposite of the checkout. Log on means to access something or to enter into an account or to open a web page. Right? It can mean either entering into a web page or opening your system or having an access to it. Okay? And see this, I will read out for you. Ali is talking to Peter to divert him. Can you go over these figures with me? Then Mark says, I deleted the mail. I think I got away with it. So did Mark escape from it? Yes, right. There, Mark, the mail you sent about stupid Peter, it just popped up in my inbox. What happened now? The mail reached to the Ali, though he deleted it. Mark, that's impossible. I just deleted it. How can it turn up in your email? Ali, Mark, you didn't delete that mail. You sent it on to the whole department. So what happened now? He sent it to the whole department, the mail. Then Peter is saying, Mark, would you step into my office, please? There is something we need to sort out. So what is Peter saying now? This is the crux. Sort out is the most important phrase here. So what is Peter expecting Mark to do? We need to sort out something. We need to
The problem.
solve the problem. That is what sort out is. So this.
I have another doubt, sir.
Yeah, please.
That is the second sentence, sir. Got away with, sir.
Yeah.
So there are three words, sir.
Yeah.
Got, I think it is a verb now, sir.
Got is verb. Yes.
What is away, sir, and what is with, sir?
Away is, as I already said, yesterday is an adverb. With is preposition.
So, which means a phrasal verb can have a verb,
Yes.
an adverb.
Yeah, preposition. Preposition, depending upon what is the object we are talking about it. If the object requires a preposition like with, say, got away with it, got away with something, escape from something or escape with something, then we need to use
So you can
preposition.
have three words in phrasal.
Yeah, three verbs. Three words can be there. Get rid of it, we have three verbs.
Preposition can be there, adverb also can be there.
Can be there. Right? Are we clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So, let us check these examples. You can see that hang on, we used it. This is what you mean. If you hang on, you can wait for some time. That's what you mean. Hang on means hang on sometime. But you can see we can use it in the three forms. Hang, hung. Past tense form is hung and past participle form is also
Hunger.
hung. And then we can look into the next phrasal verb. Mess up. We are using it in the example. It is past tense. So mess up means to do something badly or to commit a wrong thing or spoil something. Right? In the past tense, right? I think it's a mistake. It's actually messed up. Mess up, messed up, messed up. Okay? That's how it should be. And another phrasal verb is go over. If you go over something, you examine it, you study it carefully. That's what it means. Okay? Remember, see that go becomes went in the past tense and gone in the past participle. Remember to make such change with the verbs in the phrasal verb form. And the next one, pop up. What happens? Something pops up, something appears suddenly. If you open some gift boxes, sometimes there's a boxing club that comes out, right? That is popping up. So if something appears suddenly, that is called pops up. When you see the notifications of SMS and all come there, it's also popping up.
Like popcorn, sir.
Like popcorn, it pops up, it suddenly shoots up, like a mushroom. Right, sort out, you already said it, sort out means to solve a problem. Right, past tense form is sorted. Okay, these are the phrasal verbs we can look into it. I am giving you a list of the words for a complete look for you. Right, so we'll see, this is how you can change into it. You read this statement, you'll understand that the actual phrase can be changed with suitable phrasal verb. Ali is sick, though the party is going on in the garden. He remained indoors. Remained indoors can be said with stay in. Past tense, stayed in. Okay? That's how we can use it. Right? Can we try this? So Murali Krishna, can you change the bold word into a suitable phrasal verb and tell me the answer?
Sort out, sir.
Yeah, tell me the whole sentence.
India and China should try to sort out the border conflict hardly.
Very good, very good. Right. Jay Prakash,
So,
right, can you write this statement?
the customer carefully reviewed the building contract.
Carefully review something, examine something. I said that word. What is the phrasal word? Yeah, go over. Try the whole sentence.
The customer go over the building contract.
No, see the sentence. Is it in which tense?
Past tense.
So, what happens?
Had gone over,
Past tense.
Went over.
went over.
Gone over. Say the statement again completely.
Customer went over the building contract.
Good. That means he studied the building contract before he signed it very carefully. He studied it. Okay. So this is how you can use phrasal verbs, guys. Okay. So we'll do more tasks in the homework. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
It didn't go according to my expected lesson plan, sir. I thought I could finish it in within time, at least in 20 minutes.
No. You have taken 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 24 minutes.
Yes, sir. I thought I could finish it in 20 minutes, but it didn't happen because I had to spend more time in the leading, which I need to have prepared well and expected some questions on that. By that, leading would have been much more smoother and easy for them. And another point is that I didn't do all the exercises. 2 more exercises are there. 4 sentences left over it. So reinforcing, I didn't have enough time to do the reinforcing on that.
Let's ask the observers. Nagaraj.
Sir, it was really nice lessons, nice presentation, sir. You started the topic with the current issue, lockdown. The students got interest and they involved in the beginning.
Yes.
The voice is clear and everything is good, sir. And you could finish in time. And coming to other points, negative points, teacher talk is more, sir.
Okay, yes, that happened.
Students could not get chance to participate in activities. They got many doubts.
Okay.
What is the difference between noun, this the phrasal verbs, nouns, what are the nouns and verbs?
Okay.
How can a phrasal verb used as a noun as a or verb? They got these doubts, sir.
Yes.
And you involved in clarifying the doubts more.
Yes.
That is one point. Another point is you must have given more examples. For example, we use love as a noun. Okay, that is a verb. But with the phrasal verbs, you must have given more examples.
Yes.
How the phrasal verb used as a noun as a verb.
Yes.
More examples are required, sir. Another one is the dialogue is a lengthy dialogue.
Yes.
Because the students focused more to understand the dialogue instead of focusing on phrasal verbs. They try to understand the dialogue. They spend more time to understand that instead of understanding the phrasal verb.
Yes.
And in the same way, I think verbs, explaining verbs is not necessary here, because you said that this is the present tense, messed up is present tense, messed up is past tense, because that is not necessary, I think so.
Yeah,
So these are the points I have to say. Thank you.
Congrats, Siva sir. That was a wonderful micro lesson. I really like it very much because you have used the situation right. You started with COVID-19 and so on. And the start was also good. That was amazing. But sir, as you went on with the class, it became a bit confusing. Because as Nagaraj Garu pointed that, the example was lengthy and confusing too.
Yes.
And in the example, you have mentioned quite a number of phrasal verbs, but you haven't touched upon them. You have only picked 1 or 2.
Yes.
Right, sir? And that's one point, sir. And you must have used some familiar, easy phrasal verbs that you used them initially, but as you went on with the class, you used some rare or difficult phrasal verbs. Third point, sir, when the students ask doubts whether they can use 2 verbs and an adverb and verb, adjective, adverb, you must have told that initially. That's what I felt, sir. And that's all, sir. That's all. I think if I'm, please correct me if I'm wrong. You said today our topic is COVID-19, but I think that's not your topic. Your topic. Okay. That's all, sir. But I really like your class. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I tend to agree with the observers. It was a completely teacher-dominated lesson. The teacher didn't bother about the students learning at all. I'll just mention a few points. You used a dialogue, and then you used an extension of the same dialogue. Now, you asked some of the students to explain their understanding of the dialogue. They couldn't quite understand the dialogue.
Yes.
That's what the answers revealed.
Yes.
Right? That was a problem at one level. Another level, when you took up the extended dialogue, you did not even try to find out whether the students understood that part. You were explaining the whole of it.
Yes.
Right? In other words, the teacher didn't quite bother about whether students were learning. That was a basic problem. Secondly, when you wanted the students to understand phrasal verbs, how to use phrasal verbs and so on, you could have used easier phrasal verbs. This is the point made by Rajkiran, quite a valid point. Not phrasal verbs like pop up, get away with, send it on, go over is all right, sort it out is all right, but not the other phrasal verbs. Why use the three words at all? One of your students was confused, right? Because initially you said a verb and a pronoun or an adverb, adverbial particle. The teacher himself was not clear about what a phrasal verb is, right? Adverbial particle, not quite an adverb. One of the students had this problem. So, when it was your first class on phrasal verbs, you could have avoided three words. There are very easy phrasal verbs like come across,
Get over.
answer upon, which are very easy. You know, all of you must remember this particular aspect. You must try to take the students from what they know in an aspect of grammar or vocabulary to what they do not know, right?
Understood.
And so you could have put questions in such a way as to elicit the student's own knowledge of phrasal verbs, and you could have built up on it. That was another. And then, as Nagaraju rightly pointed out, the teacher talking time was much more than the learner learning time. As I pointed out initially, it was a teacher-dominated lesson. The teacher was explaining all the phrasal verbs without trying to find out if the students understood them or not. Now, why quite a lot of grammatical explanation? Tell me. You could simply have used a very simple dialogue and exposed them to quite a lot of phrasal verbs. Some of them they knew already, some of them they didn't. Right? Immerse them in a dialogue containing phrasal verbs they know and they do not, would have served the purpose much better than this kind of dialogue. The teacher had to do a lot of explanation, give a lot of grammatical. All that is not necessary. They would have been taken up later. There was a review exercise. In the, even though you explained all the phrasal verbs in the extended dialogue, the student was able to answer your question, the transformation. Instead of a particular verb, resolve, you use a phrasal verb. Student was able to use it because the student is a teacher. The student did not play the role of a student. Right? Because you were explaining all those things in the extended dialogue. In spite of that, in the review part of the lesson, the student was able to give the answer. So please remember all these things.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.